Is Universal Orlando lying about the wait times? Let's find out. Starting this experiment off with my favorite ride at Universal Orlando, potentially in the entire world, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM. It is early in the morning, and it is a posted 90-minute wait right now. 90. Let's start the clock. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM is my favorite ride possibly in the entire world, and it's definitely the most popular ride here at Universal Orlando. I highly recommend rope dropping it. I really recommend being a Universal Orlando resort guest, and then you get in for that early theme park entry. And when it's at Islands of Adventure, Hagrid's is included, and I recommend getting to that as early as possible because it'll creep up even within that hour. But if you can get there when they first start that, that's your best time to ride Hagrid's. Oh man, love when it loops us into this Sinbad theater. Did anyone ever see this show? I saw it once, and that was enough times. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM is not included on Express Pass, which is why I really recommend getting here as early as possible, especially again as a resort guest. You can get on an hour before the park opens, because even if you've paid for that Express Pass or it's included with your hotel as it is at certain ones, it doesn't work here. So you want to get in early and knock this one and one of the other big ones we'll get to out. Moving at a pretty good clip. It's only been 10 minutes and I'm at the locker station. As a friendly reminder, Universal does have lockers at a lot of their more intense attractions. The smaller ones are free, and you will need to put anything that's not like a fanny pack in it at most of them. I'll let you know if you would need to put anything else. Some attractions you go through metal detectors, but not this one. This is one I also can point out. There's the test seat for this attraction. It is a very unique seat on the motorbike. So if you're concerned about how it will fit, make sure you sit in that so you don't wait in a long line only to be uncomfortable. A few pro locker tips. 1, if you wear a fanny pack, you don't have to check it at multiple of the thrill rides. So you can skip that hassle altogether. 2, always bring with you whatever you use to open your locker, whether it be your park ticket or your room key. Don't put that in the locker. They can get it out for you, but it's, it's faster if you don't do that. And 3, only send one person into the locker station because it's really small in there. It's really congested. People just stand there confused. So just send one person in there to deal with it. It'll be less crowded. It'll be a little easier. But also, number 4, bring your patient pants. Pro tip, if you still have your phone on you, which you can bring if you're going to put in your pocket or you've got it in a fanny pack, one of my favorite pictures of Hogwarts is in this queue. Because if you position it just right, you can get no people in it, and it just looks like Hogwarts is in the distance. Time check, 34 minutes, and I'm at Hagrid's hut. All this to look forward to, weaving back and forth, and then inside. But it's moving pretty quick. It's not really been at a standstill this whole time. I know they don't have the pre-show running to keep people moving, but I miss the pre-show because it explained the whole plot of this attraction. As you know, probably, if you're a big nerd like me, Hagrid inherited Sirius's magical motorbike with the sidecar. It's what he uses to deliver Harry to the Dursleys in Sorcerer's Stone, and then it's what he and Harry ride as they escape in Deathly Hallows. I'm getting too far into the Harry Potter lore, but the plot of this ride is that Hagrid is taking you on an adventure, and so Arthur Weasley and his never-ending wisdom tinkers with the bike a little bit and duplicates it. So that's why we have the Enchanted Motorbike 8 times in a row for the vehicle. One of my favorite Easter eggs in the land is right here. It's the golden egg from Goblet of Fire. That's like a literal Easter egg. It's so early. $75 minutes at Hagrid's, which is what it's posted now, by the way. Now that I'm getting off, it's posted 75, so that would be spot on. But I would say that's pretty good. Pretty good for the most popular ride in the park. And now we're going to head to the most nauseating ride in the park, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey Has a 25-minute posted wait right now, which seems very low, which is part of the reason I'm headed this way to clock it right now. And also I want to get it over with because it makes me so nauseous. Even though I love Harry Potter. And this is the most Harry Potter ride, I always say. It's not the best, but it's the most. It's a combination of practical sets and screens as you sit on this bench that Hermione's enchanted, and it's basically on a big octopus arm, and it was technology developed for this attraction, and it slings you around and upside down, and it just really nauseates me. But I suffer for Harry Potter. The reason I say it's the most Harry Potter ride, because you're gonna see a lot of iconic things from the series, and if you are a Harry Potter fan, I recommend trying it at least once, but maybe not right after a butterbeer, maybe at the end of the day in case you get nauseous. But you're gonna see the Forbidden Forest, Quidditch, dragons, Dementors, and in the queue alone, you are going to go through Hogwarts into the dungeons, into Dumbledore's office, into the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom. So even if you opt out of riding this one, walk through the queue, which they will let you do, because there are tons of Harry Potter Easter eggs in here. It's the mirror of Erised that shows your heart's truest desire, and look, it's working. Because my truest desire right now is not to throw up on this ride. And look at the mirror. It's me not throwing up. So it must work. It took 23 minutes, so 25 was a good guess. Man, does that ride upset the old Tom, but it is so cool. I don't ride it very much because of this. And I forgot how close the spiders get to you, and I screamed. So it is really fun, but it is not for the weak stomach. Now that I've put Forbidden Journey behind me, I can have a snack, and then we'll keep riding some rides and clocking some weights. What do they got in there, King Kong? Headed to my second favorite franchise located here in Universal Orlando, Jurassic Park. I don't know if that's true, since there's Marvel here. But it's comic book Marvel, not MCU Marvel, and I'm admittingly don't know anything about the comic books, so yeah, we'll stick with Jurassic Park as my second favorite, especially since they took out Jaws. Jaws is my favorite cinematic universe. Anyway, Velocicoaster, Universal's newest thrill ride, has a 55-minute wait. We're gonna see if that's accurate. Here I come, Dr. Alan Grant. Velocicoaster is the most fun coaster I've ever been on, like the physical coaster. It is an absolute blast. You've got a hanging inversion. It's just a blast and a half. Oh, it's so fun. Okay, it said 50. It said 50 on the outdoor sign, but it's gone up to 65 in the time I walked to here. So we're gonna use 65 as the official wait time, and let's start the clock. One thing I will say about Velocicoaster is it does not have Express Pass. However, the line is usually significantly shorter than Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM. It's usually, for most of the day so far, it was 40. So it just recently went up to 65. So typically you can get on this one without too long of a wait, either in that early entry or later in the afternoon. So my recommendation when you get here would be to do Hagrid's and then this. I will say this about this queue. It tends to move pretty quickly because there's no Express Pass, but it also is a lot in direct sunlight right here. So if you can avoid getting in line for this in the middle of the day during the summer, you'll probably thank me. One thing to keep in mind too, with Velocicoaster, Hagrid's, and Incredible Hulk Coaster, is they're all outside. So if it thunderstorms like it does every day in the summer here, they will all have to close for inclement weather, which is another good reason to try and knock these ones out earlier in the day. Okay, so this attraction takes place in Jurassic World pre the first movie. So, like, you know how they're like, we need more teeth, and that's why they make the Indominus Rex? This is their idea in Jurassic World before the Indominus Rex, where the idea is that you're going to go on a raptor run in the raptor paddock. but they act like this is Jurassic World. And you can see that they have things like this Mosasaurus sign where they're telling you about the Mosasaurus, and that's why this is the Mosasaurus barrel roll. And they're like, hey, come over here and watch the Mosasaurus eat a great white shark, like you may have remembered from the film Jurassic World. And I just feel like that is bad, like, animal rights. Like, do you not care about the ocean? Because sharks are needed for the ocean to survive, and over 1/3 of shark species are at risk of extinction because we're overfishing them as humans. Bryce Dallas Howard, are you listening to me? We got plenty of cows. Just saying, this is bad for the environment. It's my one qualm with Jurassic World. Everything else, totally believable. Status update, 25 minutes, and I'm back inside. Been moving pretty decently the whole time. Stop and go, stop and go. There is a single rider line at Velocicoaster. However, even more than at Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM, I don't recommend using it because you're gonna miss most of the queue, including the Raptors, which is the coolest part of this queue and the coolest queue I've ever been in. Plus, it doesn't move very fast, so you're not gonna save that much time. So you might as well just get in the regular queue. The queue's part of the experience here. Okay, this attraction has metal detectors, so I have to put everything in a locker, including my phone. It's usually about 5 or 10 more minutes after the metal detectors to actually get on the ride. So you can see I'm at 41 minutes, but I will do my best to guesstimate how long it takes before I get on the ride, and I'll see you in a minute. Make sure when you put stuff in a locker at this attraction, you remember either the color, the number, or the dinosaur, because you're going to come out on the other side of the lockers. They're dual-sided to help with guest flow, so you're going to be coming back to a physical different room, but your stuff will still be in the locker. So I am 8 green, I don't remember that dinosaur name, Stegosaurus. There we go. I was in the back, which, like, my scrunchie almost fell out. I had to redo my hair. It is so fun. It's so thrilling. The theme is so fun. The thrill, like, the hanging inversions, you upside down like 4 times. It is the best. It is the most fun coaster I've ever been on. Even though, yes, I know Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM is my favorite, because I like Harry Potter more. This is, like, the best coaster. No water rides for me today, despite Jurassic Park River Adventure being my favorite water ride in Orlando. 35-minute wait. Instead, we're gonna keep moving and see what's happening with some super friends. As the ground would suggest, we have made it to Marvel Superhero Island, and as you can see, it's definitely getting a little bit busier. But I'm gonna go clock the waits at one of the fan favorite rides in this land as well. I was torn between Hulk and Spider-Man as the tribute for this land to clock the wait, but I'm gonna go Spider-Man simply because Hulk, you have to put all your stuff in a locker and go through metal detectors at the outset of the ride, so I'd have no way to clock the whole wait, and that's also really boring. So it's boring for me who can't film anything or look at my phone, and it's boring for you. So we're gonna go Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, baby. It's got a posted 25-minute wait, which seems low for how busy the park is, but all right. We have started the clock, and off we go. I don't know if I've ever had to weave this much in the back part of the queue before, which leads me to believe it's gonna be longer than 25 minutes. Update, I'm stepping inside now. It's been 13 minutes. So I don't have a lot of confidence that this is going to be over by 25 minutes. I will also note that the app has moved it up to 35 minutes. So not that that counts. It should be accurate as to when you get in line. But, you know, sometimes there's a little lag as they figure it out and adjust things. Here we are at the Daily Bugle. There's everyone's favorite editor. Made it inside the offices of the Daily Bugle. Basically, the plot of this is that the bad guys from the Spider-Man comics are trying to steal the Statue of Liberty, and for some reason you have to help. You're not qualified to help, but you have to. You have to go as the intern of the Daily Bugle to get the scoop. Sounds like a job for an intern. It's officially been more than 25 minutes, and I'm still right here. So I'm guessing 35 will be more accurate, which is still close to the posted wait time, but we prefer being over, not under. Ended up being exactly 35, so the current posted wait is right, but I hadn't switched over. It's 10 minutes over.
And the single ride is
so that's still not too bad. I can consider anything in like a 10 to 15 minute swing either way, not the worst, but that ride does make me nauseous as well. All right, we have done 4 big attractions here at Islands of Adventure. I think it's time to go test out what the waits are like over at Universal Studios Florida, but I'm gonna grab a little something to nosh on first. This is the Croissant Moon Bakery. Get it? Like crescent moon, but it's a croissant. You get it. It's literally right across the street from the Starbucks, so I rarely come in here because I'm normally just grabbing coffee, but that feels like a mistake. They've got some sandwiches, pastries. Look at all these yummy looking pastries. That almond croissant looks delish, but I need something a little more substantial. Here's my little quick lunch from Croissant Moon. I got the caprese sandwich, so it's a warm panini style caprese with tomato, basil, mozzarella, and pesto, and then it comes with potato salad and fresh fruit. Actually looks pretty good. It is in fact pretty good. Is this the best thing I've ever eaten at a theme park? No. But the tomato's fresh and juicy. There's lots of good chunky cheese on there. There's nice flavor. I love that it's panini style. For a quick lunch that doesn't involve a long line like the Wizarding World does or some of the bigger spots do in the middle of the park, it's not bad. And, you know, maybe you don't want something fried. I thought about getting tots covered in cheese, which is what I normally get. So instead I got bread covered in cheese, and I'm convincing myself it's different. Made it into Universal Studios Florida, and gonna do a couple rides here. There's nothing too long as far as the waits go. Escape from Gringotts is 55 minutes right now. That's the longest wait in this park. So I'm gonna try and end there and start my lap this way with the last remaining opening day ride in this park. Any guesses where we're going? Hello, Miss Boop.
Hi there.
How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
You look very adorable.
Thank you. You like my color?
I do. That's so cute. Can we take a picture together?
Of course.
Made a pit stop to say hello to Betty Boop Boop Boop. And there's no more distancing here either for the characters, so I was able to come stand right next to her and get a selfie. But they're still doing like the little float pull out, even though the parade's back, even though characters are back. They're still pulling out the floats sometimes, which I think is great. I've seen them do it with SpongeBob. This is The Secret Life of Pets. I've seen them do it with Dora the Explorer. And I think it's great that they're keeping this entertainment option available as well as bringing the other stuff back. This one's not quite as fun as the others because it's animatronic characters on it, but like the SpongeBob one, the Dora one, those actually have those characters like on it waving at you. Here we are, the most iconic ride in this park, the last standing original ride from this park, the E.T. Adventure, baby. We're gonna go ahead and start the clock. It's got a posted 25-minute wait. Now, it does take a little longer than it did for most of the time since the reopening, because not too long ago, a couple of months at this point, they added back in the pre-show and where E.T. actually says your name as opposed to just friend. I think that's worth a little extra wait, but that's right behind those doors, which seems like it's gonna be just a few minutes before we get in. So Disney stops the clock at the pre-show. I'll time it till I actually get on the bike as well, but to the pre-show, it's like moments.
Steven Spielberg, which in and of itself is also 20 years old. Please get a round of applause for E.T. director Steven!
Pleasure to welcome you to the E.T. Adventure.
All right, it's been 6 minutes and now I'm getting my passport. I'm still clocking it, even though at Disney I would have stopped because I would be done with the pre-show. But it looks like a walk-on at this point, and it's been 7 minutes. So safe to say I don't think we're gonna hit that 25 that was posted, which is fine by me because the faster I can get to see my friend E.T. and all his very special looking friends from his planet, the better. I just love it so much, but it is so trippy. Like, that is Steven Spielberg's fever dream, for sure. That attraction is wild. Steven Spielberg is probably the #1 person on my celebrity dream dinner party of people that are still alive. And I would spend 75% of the time talking about Jaws and 25% asking him what happened to him to make this. That said, you should ride it, absolutely. And even better, it was a walk-on. Essentially, it was 9 minutes, but that included the time for the pre-show and getting my name on the card and then getting on the bike. So, very quick. Next up, I'm gonna do Men in Black Alien Attack. This has a 40-minute wait in the app, and it's a lot of fun because it's a shooter-style ride like Buzz Lightyear. I do think it's actually better than Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Please don't tell my space husband. Space husband #1. Space husband #2 is Poe Dameron, obviously. But it's a lot of fun because you get to actually pick the gun out. You go through big 3D sets. There's a fun Steven Spielberg Easter egg, but I do have to put my bag and my camera in a locker because it spins you more than Toy Story Mania or Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. But I'll keep my phone with me to clock the weight, of course.
Welcome to The Universe and You. We hope you enjoy this classic adventure into the unknown, relocated from the 1964 New York World Expo.
Join us now as we take you on a fantastic
Universe and You program terminated. Access granted for MIB training.
Hurry up, rookies! We haven't got all day.
Men in Black Alien Attack posted 40, ended up being 22, and now it's posted at 20. So I'm like one step ahead of the wait time update, it seems, all day. That 22 minutes did include the elevator, which is only a recent comeback. I hesitate to call it a pre-show because it's not really, it's just like a feature of the queue where they say you're going to an expo from the 1964-65 World's Fair, but then they're like, surprise, you're actually going to the MIB Institute, and then you go down an elevator. So that part was included with the wait, which is all part of the experience. But I'm gonna do one more. The wait times are relatively low today, which is nice, but I'm gonna get one more big one under the belt, which has a pretty long wait right now, that you know where we're going. If you guessed we were going into Diagon Alley next, you win a prize. I don't know what the prize is. The joy of being right, which is really a prize. We're headed to do the main attraction in this land, really the only attraction in addition to the train, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. That's the one inside Gringotts Bank with the dragon on top of it. Pro tip, the dragon breathes fire every 10 minutes on the 10, so 4 o'clock, 4:10, 4:20, etc. However, if it's too windy or it's too stormy, he will not breathe fire. So there's a weather sensor out there. He's a very considerate dragon. So if you're standing there ready for your picture and it doesn't happen in about a minute, it's probably too windy or something. So just hopefully it'll change. It's Florida. The weather changes pretty much all the time. Oh, I just love it in this land so much. So much. All right, let's go put my bag up and get in the queue. Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts is a 3D coaster that mixes an actual track and actual props with a simulator. It doesn't make me near as nauseous as Forbidden Journey or Spider-Man. It's a lot of fun. It specifically takes place in the moment in Deathly Hallows when Harry, Ron, and Hermione, disguised as Bellatrix, a Death Eater, and under the invisibility cloak, break into Hogwarts to steal the Horcrux out of Bellatrix Lestrange's vault.
George. Bilbois, what are you doing here? This is my office, Lordette. The question is, what are you doing here?
I was about to show our new clients the vault. I've just getting the keys.
Well, I moved them. All you have to do is ask. Accio keys.
Escape from Gringotts somehow has simultaneously the best and the worst queues all at the same ride. Because the outdoor part, horrible. Crowded, hot, outside, minimally themed, you're super close to other people, very loud. The indoor part, amazing. Over-the-top themed animatronics, moves quickly, fuels you to steal a part of Voldemort's soul. It's funny to me, literally, the best and the worst queue. Both here at Escape from Gringotts. I waited 49 minutes, so just under the posted 55. I was in the pre-show at 39 minutes, and I would consider this a true pre-show because there's a pre-show and then there's a little elevator thing. So once again, pretty on track. And now it's 45 minutes, so once again, I'm 5 minutes ahead of the curve. Well, friends, we did 7 of the most popular rides here at Universal Orlando to check the wait times. And was Universal lying? For the most part, no. The waits were pretty much correct all day. I say with about a 10 or 15 minute swing in either direction. That's pretty good. It's hard to estimate a wait. It's always an approximated wait because the way people move fluctuates, wheelchairs, kids, a bunch of things have packed the rides. So it's always an approximate wait when you're at a theme park. And like Disney, Universal will usually post a few minutes over because they have to estimate it and they'd rather it be a little bit over than under so that you're happy rather than sad. So for the most part today, they hit that. I had a great day at Universal Orlando. Reminder that Express Pass works at most of these attractions. I think it's a great way to navigate these parks, especially during a busier day. And remember, you can get that Express Pass for free by staying in some of those resorts. What other videos do you want to see? Make sure to subscribe and follow along. Until next time, friends, it's been magical. Now go watch Perfect Day at Universal Orlando. Bye!